Hey there, this is Samuel, and today I'm at Hamilton in New Jersey. I'm at a park, and it's not a very famous park. I think I drove by last year. I saw the park. It wasn't. It's a good park to take a walk and just sit down. It's nothing really glamorous about this park. But today I have a very very important message. So I was excited. I'm psyched to sit down here for a minute and share with you the importance of presence. Recently I've been reading a book. It's from this guy called Eckhart Tolle. And this guy is amazing. He shares some deep insights on presence or being focused on now. Basically, a lot of times we get caught up in the future or even get stuck up in the past, instead of focusing on now, on what we're doing now, right? And I myself, I have been that way, so it kind of really resonated with me and helped me clear up my mind and beginning to get myself back, So generally, he made a very quote in that book. He said, the secret of life is to die before you die, and to realize that there is no death. That's very deep. That's very deep. So in terms of dying, he goes more into our ego, in terms of how we tend to associate ourselves with our mind and think that we are our mind. And personally, I have been caught up in that, for, I'll say forever. It's actually like a human condition. Because human beings, we got born with our mind, and it's something that we have become addicted to. It's kind of like a fish being born in water. You get born in water, and human beings, we are born in our mind. We born with our mind. We have the mind all the time saying different things. Even now, different thoughts going on in my mind. Even as I'm making this video, also with you too. It's like our mind, it's a very important tool, that should help us, But if you notice, you realize that a lot of times we're being used by our mind instead of us using the mind. So the mind uses us instead of using the mind. So when I put it that way, you also get to think about it, and it gives me perspective. Okay, then there is behind my mind, there is me, right? So the me is basically our true self. It's basically who we truly are. So I'm not talking about who we truly are in terms of who our identities. In terms of, I'm talking about who we truly are in terms of excuse me, in terms of who we are. So after reading the book, I spent time to really sit down. There were hours I sat down just to think deeply about myself and think deeply about my life and about the book. And it was a great enlightenment. So like me, for instance, now I'm pushing 30. So I'm not young, and I've gone through a lot of different things. Different identities have unfolded in my life. What I mean by that is, throughout my life, there are different things that I have, personalities that I have evolved. I have done different things. I have various things up to this point. Have come and go. I have met different people throughout my life. That have come and go. Some of them are still in my life. Like I said, different things I have tried, but some of them I'm really committed to, like self-development, a journey. That's something that is always going to be an essential part of me that I'm going to be doing. this part. So that's gonna be an essential part of me. I'm gonna be pursuing and evolving. And then when we take a focus and zoom in to even say today now, you realize that there are different emotions that come and go, right? Different emotions come and go. Certain times I'm very happy, certain times I'm sad, certain times I'm very pumped up and excited and ready to crash it, certain times I'm bored, certain times I'm careful, certain times I'm fearful, and then there are different emotions that we go through that fluctuates, and then also with our mind, we have different thoughts that go through our mind. Thoughts come and go. Like I'm sitting here, I might be thinking about, the camera. Is this camera? Is it too dark? Right now. You might be thinking about what I'm saying. You might be thinking about, different things about me right now, even as I talk to you, or different things about, let's say your house, maybe what you'll be doing tomorrow, the kind of food you'll be getting tomorrow. Different thoughts will come here and there, and basically it flashes through your mind, and a lot of times we kind of attach ourselves to a thought and follow a thought and then go deeper into a thought, and then sometimes you get lost in the thought, and the premise, what really was very enlightening for me was the part of me dissociating myself from my mind or from my emotions and seeing those as forms, those as things that manifest in my life. In my life, as far as me being the presence or the true self, and my emotions or my thoughts manifesting within my life, so that was very deep, that was truly deep. And like in terms of us getting stuck in the future, and also the past now, as it being a disease and being a human condition that is caused many people to be unconscious, cause many people to be asleep, not awake, not present, not attentive to the present situation that they have now. So that's something that really was very enlightening for me, and it's helping me to take perspective and also be more passionate about my journey. So basically, a lot of times you realize that we are get stuck in the future. We keep thinking about tomorrow, about the day before, afterwards, or even thinking about the next thing. So for instance, even now, you might be watching this video, but then you might be also be thinking about something else that you might be doing in the next few minutes that you might need to do. Or say you're doing something now, but then you're thinking about something that you'll be doing in the future that will be better now, or for instance, I'm sitting here and I'm making this video, I'm enjoying it, instead of being more present in the video and just being focused on the now and things that I'm just sharing with you. If I'm stuck in my head, I will be probably thinking about the next thing, I'm probably thinking about my room, right? About my bed, how warm it is to get in the bed, or the drive back. There might be something I might want to see on the way back. And not focus on now, not focus on the important, precious time I'm spending now behind the camera, sharing these things with you, and enjoying it now and being here with you now. So the mind drifts, and the mind has a form of itself, and it wants to be alive, and the way in which it stays alive is taking manifesting itself in the future a lot, and also in the past, in the past, bringing the past into your mind. And when these two forces are like in your head, you cannot focus on now, which is all you have. Because really, the future, you don't have any control over the future. It's an illusion. Because a lot of times, how you expect the future to be does not happen that way. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad not to plan for the future, have a purpose, have a goal, but if you make it your home to be constantly be thinking about the next thing, the next thing will be better, or you constantly be focused about the future, then you miss the present now. Because really, all you have is now, and the present will actually be what will lead to the future. When you think about it, it's very serious, our mental condition. And so being stuck in the future, and the mind will always come to trick you and always sneak in with things or emotions that will get you off the present situation now into the future. So Eckhart's book talk a lot about now, and now as being your true self. Now meaning being your your essence, your essence of who you are. Because eventually, as I was saying, things go away. Things eventually, even we as a person, as a human, we eventually will grow old. We eventually will die. Eventually feelings will come and go. It's feelings, thoughts, and us is like all part of the world. But there's a deeper sense, a deeper essence of you that is in the world, but it's not of the world. So meaning it's a part of you that hasn't changed, throughout the time, through up to now, that will continue to be, so and that is now. That is the present moment where you are not focused on the future, got caught up in the future, or got caught up in your feelings, or not got caught up in the past, but just being in a period of stillness and alertness and being focused on now. Now. And that window, as it's become a realization for me, and as I was saying, begin when you begin to get an awareness of your thoughts. See, because one thing that was actually getting me to, there's a lot of times where thoughts will creep into my mind, or emotions will creep into my mind, and I'll immediately identify with the thoughts and think I am my thoughts, or have an emotion and identify with the emotion, thinking that I am my emotions, but the emotions will go, so, and then thoughts will come and go too. Some of it we follow, some of it we don't, but those, it's not me, that is not me, So this exercise, I know it's a little bit might be a lot of information for you right now, as it was for me too, but once you read the book and once you think about what I've just said more deeply and take perspective, you realize that you become bigger than your journey, and this is, and I've always been a big proponent for the journey and my journey, and our life being a journey and not our destination, and the experience of our journey, but you realize that you take perspective of the journey itself and you become more in control of the journey, and this will eliminate all fears that you have in the future, about future worries, about tomorrow, the times to come, which is all an illusion in the mind, which is the mind's way of keeping itself alive, and this will eliminate all fears and all stress, because stress, is being here now, but you want to be there now, you know. So that gap brings about stress, or being fearful is being stuck in tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow? What happened with the business? What if the business collapse? What if this relationship doesn't work? What if I get sick? What if this happens? It's all what if, and all those are illusions in the mind that has not yet occurred, but your mind wants to keep yourself alive by playing those things in your mind, in you too. So once you see these thoughts, but you don't identify with these thoughts, it's not a matter of not preventing the thoughts, because thoughts are automatic. Thoughts will come when they need to come, but it's about being aware of the thoughts and just observing the thoughts by being like a presence, the presence in the thoughts, watching your thoughts, observing the thoughts, observing your feelings, observing your mind as it tries to trick you into the future, or occupy you with the future, or occupy you with the past, and trying to steal the presence from you, and taking a bigger perspective of yourself, yourself as a form, and that, like I said, eliminates stress, eliminates fears, and basically you become present. I remember the weekend I listened to the book. The following days, I got into a state. It was kind of like when you get immersed in water, and your mind become like, then like just one straight one sound. It's like it was like you're floating in a well. You're just floating in a well, like just, and like nothing really was on my mind. It was just a great feeling. It was so great. It was like, it's like you have alcohol in your system. It was crazy, and it's like, it was so peaceful. It was so peaceful, and I was very focused, and I was very confident, because there was no thoughts like things coming to my mind about what people think, what is going on, this and that. All the unnecessary crappy thoughts and junk was not in my mind anymore. And at that stage, I was just existing. And I was just focused on what I was gonna do. Whatever I was doing that moment, when it happened to me, I was just like rock solid, and just doing it. And it's so freaking good. So now I know I'm not perfect. I'm still working on it and becoming more present, bringing more focus, bringing more intensity to the moment. And it's something that it's been one of my major goals this year, to be more alert, be more focused, and become more present. Become more present. In terms of that, as far as that tied into my journey, and as far as with this, is that now I got to realize that there is a physical form. Now I got to realize that there is my journey, right, which is my life forms, which will include my emotions. Emotions will always be there. My feelings, my mental noise will always be there. In terms of my mind trying to pull me into the future or into the past, those will always be there. And those I'm working on. In terms of also my life forms, in terms of my identities, like I want to be a great communicator, through my videos. That's something I'm working on. That's something I'm evolving. But that's also like a life form. That's something that is more of part of the cycle, or part of the journey. But beyond that, there's also the other journey, which is my true self, which is becoming more present within my present life form, or becoming more present in my present journey. If that makes sense. Become more present in my journey, becoming present as my life evolves in front of me, as my thoughts evolve, as my feelings go to the cycle, as my mind goes to the cycle, and becoming a present becoming a presence in my feelings, in my thoughts, and in my journey. See that, and that journey of me becoming more present is it's a bigger journey. And that presence is your true self. That presence, most people call it your life. That's like your lifeblood. That's most people call it God. Most people call it the universe. Most people call it whatever you want to call it. That's larger. So you are larger than the journey, the physical journey that you see that goes up and down. It's like the weather. That is not permanent. That's the journey, one form of the journey, and then there is the journey beyond that, which goes into you being life, you being you having the essence of the universe, you having the essence of God in you, and that essence doesn't change, doesn't die. That essence is forever existing. And that's also another journey. So like I said, go more deeply into it. And ultimately, like he said, the true essence will be when you dissociate yourself from your feelings, dissociate yourself from your mind, dissociate yourself from attaching to your identities, letting those things go, or letting those things pass by. And that is why he means by, the secret of life is to die before you die, and then realizing that there is no death. So it meaning not attaching too much of yourself to the life forms, which is your emotions, your your identities that you built, and the life forms, the physical life, the physical journey. So the journey is the journey that you're gonna take, but do not associate yourself to the journey, which involves all these things that change, different things that we're gonna go through in life. So this is Sam from overshopquest.com. Definitely watch out for my other videos. Like, comment, subscribe, but definitely subscribe below. That's the only way you're gonna get all my videos. I also have a business channel and a channel on my business stuff, if you're into business. But I hope you have a good day. Enjoy being in the present situation now. The past you have no control over, and the future has not yet come, and you also have no control over. The only time you have is now. So make use of it, right? So Sam from overshopquest.com, and until next time.